What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. We are back, people. Premier League season 48 hours away. It's only right that I get on here with a live stream and connect with the community. Let me just slow it down, people. Let's go into Granit Xhaka mode, which someone said the other day, what's Granit Xhaka mode? Listen, we slow down the chat as Granit Xhaka slows down the ball movement on the pitch. But big up to each and every one of you for tuning in. It's been a while, man. A lot of short form content over the summer. But obviously, we're back. And listen, I was on time today, people. Yeah, I see people in the comments saying, how many minutes late is he going to be? Oliver, man's on time, bro. Man's on time. Relax. New, refreshed for the new season. It's hot in here, by the way. I look a little bit sweaty, don't I? But yo, the humidity's mad right now. No Jamaican time today. Man was bang on time. But big up to everyone. Big up to all of the see unit. Big up your damn selves. Hope you're all well. New season's coming back. You know, we've gone past 50K. We went on the tour. We've got new merch. We've got new signings. It's all feeling good, people. But, you know, you just never know, do you, what's going to go on? Oz, I'm back, man. I know the live streams. I know I haven't been doing the live streams much, but I had to just relax for the summer. Been on a couple of holidays. Obviously went on the tour. You know, big up Cass, who said, Curtis, was great meeting you on Saturday. Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. Good to meet everyone. The fan love's been crazy, man. Big up AJ, who said, man, like Curtis in the building. Yo, do you know what? It's crazy. Man said, how many shirts are you allocated to ripping this season? How many shirts? Now, we ain't ripping a shirt again. It was a one-off, you know, but it was necessary. It made me feel better. You know, I can't lie. It felt like it was necessary. Big up Orlando, said, big up from Yard. Big up yourself. Happy to see you back. Lots of love from Nigeria. Big up yourself, bro. Ecom said, big up yourself. Seeing the community being a minute. Big up Bull Ali, who said, big C, we getting 100K this year. We're moving, people. We ain't playing games. We ain't playing no games. Sal, when you playing, you'll never walk alone like Arteta. Listen, a lot of people was in the comments saying, what's this you'll never walk alone thing that you're talking about? And for anybody that doesn't know, so Arteta played You'll Never Walk Alone before we played Liverpool in the training session while the players were training. We lost the game 4-0. He tried to recreate Anfield at London Colney by playing You'll Never Walk Alone. And so when I seen this yesterday, because they're obviously revealing all these clips, I put out the tweet, and Twitter blew up, as it does, and people were going crazy at me. He's a genius. He tried to do something different. People, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I can't be on the screen looking all shiny like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a sweat box in here right now, so I have to get my little towel thing. But yeah, he played You'll Never Walk Alone before the game to recreate the Anfield atmosphere, and we lost 4-0. The speakers weren't even loud enough, bro. I don't know what kind of speakers they were. You know, if you're going to recreate, turn it up full blast. You know, maybe bring in 100 people to go around the pitch and start jumping up and down. I don't know, people. But it didn't work. So I put out the tweet. I said, listen, man played You'll Never Walk Alone to recreate the atmosphere, and we lost 4-0. And people just didn't like it. Some people did like it, but some didn't. But listen, I'm going to chill. We're going to talk about it later on anyway. We might even sing the song. Why not, people? You know, let's make it like Anfield. But it is what it is. Big up to each and every one of you. Good to be back. Gunner96, blessed morning, Big C. Respect to the community. Big up yourself. John said, what's up, Curtis? You were on time. Are you okay? New season vibes, man. It's hot in here as well. Jeez, I don't know what's going on. Humidity is crazy. When's Tielemans coming? Right, let's get into the show. Big up, everyone. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. And don't forget, by the way, I'm going to be setting up the Fantasy Premier League for tomorrow. So get your teams ready. You can set them up already. I'm actually going to set it up today. I'll put it in the community page. So for anybody that checks that, but then on tomorrow's stream, I'll remind you all, everybody get involved. Maybe we'll do a prize for the winner at the end of the season. And, I was a disgrace in my own league last year. I can't lie. I think I finished like 2,750th out of about 4,000. So I was an absolute shambles last season. Kenyan Guna said Twitter was mad. Yeah, bun Twitter, man. Well, I don't care about that. I just throw grenades out there and then turn it off, you know what I mean? And just leave them all to it. Oh, Arteta's a genius. Why is he criticising him if it had worked? So I just leave it. I do it on purpose. I don't care anyway, people. So, yeah, get your fantasy Premier League team ready. I'll put the league code in later on, or I'll remind you all on the stream that we do tomorrow. Raul said, comedy, bro. What would he do for a match at Istanbul? Light up flares at London Gold. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what this guy's going to do. Like, depending on who we play, is he just going to start bringing people in? It's all mad people. I don't know. But yeah, he tried a thing. If it had worked, I might have tipped my hat to him and said, yeah, man, you'll never walk alone. Worked. But when you go there and held a 4-0 beatdown, I think we have to really say, maybe the music wasn't loud enough, Big up South London's fine. He said, welcome back, Big C. We'll be in the background. Smash the lights. Get up to 1K. Road to 60K. Join the C Unit community. Big up yourself. FPL ready. Let's go. Yeah, I haven't even set my team up yet. I need to be quite strategic, But it is what it is. Listen, Twitter, I don't mind. I don't care. I just throw grenades there. Enam said, Big C, it was brilliant to meet you in Orlando, man. Big up, man. What a trip. And you know what? Listen, this is why I don't want to... do you know what? It's crazy. This All or Nothing documentary comes out tomorrow night. I'm going to figure out how to do that. Do we do a watch along for it, or do I do a reaction video after we've watched the episodes? The first 3 episodes come out tomorrow night. So let me know what you think, how we should do that. I'm seeing all these clips from this, and I'm kind of thinking... it's coming out at the worst time possible. Like, we've got a feel-good factor. We're going into the first game of the season. Everything's good. Everything's positive. And then you're bringing out this documentary that I feel like parts of this documentary are going to embarrass the club. So we'll have to see. Yeah, maybe a watch-along on Twitch, and I might actually just show it. Might just show it in the background, So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. First 3 episodes come out tomorrow night. I know we're in Orlando, but that was some... Hey, come on, man. I had to throw them shots. I had to, man. But yeah, we'll do a poll. I'll do a poll towards the end. Let me know how you want to do it. Would you rather watch the episode yourself and we do a bit of a reaction video after you've watched it, or do we do an actual watch-along on Twitch where you can watch it? I'll throw a poll up towards the end, people. Big up to everyone watching on Twitch and everyone watching on YouTube. So I'll throw the poll up before that. Man said, imagine Jurgen Klopp singing 49-49 undefeated before a game against Arsenal. It's all mad. Mikel, you tried a thing, but it is what it is. If I was Arsenal, I can't lie, I'd get that 10 million and give it back to Amazon and say, we're locking it off. This documentary, in my opinion, won't do anything positive for Arsenal. But hopefully it doesn't take our focus off the game. You can do it on Twitch. It will consider as reacting. Yeah, maybe we do that. I don't mind doing that. 3 episodes. Snake Eyes, big up, bro. I hope you're well. Obviously been going through a tough time. He said, big up, Big C. Thank you for your messages. Thanks to the community for reaching out in my time of need. Big up to the C Unit community. Big up, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're feeling better. And appreciate everyone who's messaged him as well. And Peely said, much love, Curtis. Hope you had a great US trip. I'm excited for the new season. How about a Curtis Super 6 League 2? Yeah, maybe we could do that as well. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Try and get something set up for tomorrow or before we kick off on Friday. I've missed the polls. Don't worry, man. The polls are coming. Big C, you're right. They should pull the documentary and send the money back. I'm telling you. I know it's 10 million, but boy, I don't think that documentary is going to do any favors for us. Darren said reaction. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Right, let's get into the news. Let's start off with greatness, right? Let's start off with absolute greatness. And on this day, people, 23 years ago, the King joined Arsenal Football Club. Amazingly, we sold Nicolas Anelka to Real Madrid for 22 million. We built a training ground. and signed the greatest player in Premier League history, in my opinion. £11 million. I know I've told the story multiple times, but the one time that I had the opportunity to meet this guy, I pied him off because I wasn't happy with the deal. Anelka was my favourite striker. We sold him. We signed Thierry Henry, who was just a quick winger from Juventus. I'm at Wembley watching a game. He's 2 rows behind me, taking pictures. Dad says, do you want to go and take a picture with Thierry Henry, new Arsenal player? I said, nah, I don't think he's that good. Walked out of there, never seen him since. But that's how it goes, people. Turned out a pretty good player. What do I know? On this day in 1999, Arsenal completed the signing of 22-year-old Thierry Henry for a fee of around £11 million. The best player in Premier League history, the best player in Arsenal history, one of the best strikers I've ever seen play football. I do put R9 Ronaldo above him, painfully, but what a player. Had the pleasure of seeing him live a few times and honestly never seen a player like it. I remember Arsenal against Man United at the Emirates, and I remember watching him and thinking, this guy's done nothing all game. We went 1-0 down, Rooney scored, Van Persie equalised for us, and then he scored the header last minute, little 1-2 Abue and Rosicky heads it in top corner, and I'm just like, and then he got man of the match, and I was like, this guy's done nothing for 89 minutes. And he's just headed it top corner. He was just unbelievable. He was a different level, to be honest. He was years ahead of most players. You know, the sacred number 14 shirt. I wonder what's happened to that number 14 shirt. I better not say too much about that, actually. M. Barron said, big up, Big C. Glad to catch you live with your newborn daughter in your arms. Her name is Phoenix. She's 5 days old. Love this Henry story, by the way. Hey, big up to you and your daughter, Phoenix. Hope you're well. Are you going to make her a gooner, or do you let her choose her own path? You know, it's always interesting. But big up, man. Yeah, listen, I believe most, depending on your age group, you know, a lot of people who were born late 80s, early 90s, you're probably Arsenal fans because of this guy, to be honest. He is the idol of Arsenal Football Club. Some people say Bergkamp. Kai said Bergkamp is our greatest ever player. I've had this debate many times with people. I understand where people come from with that, but to me, Thierry was the guy that won you the game. Bergkamp was a legendary player, a great creative player, but I think we needed Thierry more than we needed Bergkamp in that sense. I think if Henry wasn't playing, you was in trouble. You know, Bergkamp was a genius, a great creative player. I just think Thierry was a little bit above him. But they were definitely close. But a few of you think Bergkamp as well. Jack said, I'm 22 and support Arsenal because of Henry. It was just that one. He was the guy. Everybody wanted to be him. You pulled your socks above your knees to be like him. The little open-up finish into the bottom corner. He had his own finish. You could come home from a game and say, I scored. Oh, what was your goal like? Oh, a little Henry finish. And people knew what it was. Family Podcast said, became a fan because of Bergkamp in 96 against them down the road. Ramesh said, I was a fan due to Ian Wright. I've got to admit, Wright, he was my first, probably one that I really connected me to Arsenal. And then Anelka, Bergkamp, Vieira, and then probably Henry was just, you know, he just finished it off. It was like, that's it. But listen, a great debate. If only we had those kind of players now, just one of them would be enough. Assassin said, who remembers Henry's farewell video? I was actually in tears, 2007. I think he was in tears, wasn't he, when they gave him the statue, you know? King was pure diamond, says Neil. Academic said, I'm a football fan because of Henry. I agree. After R9 is 14 for me. Yeah, R9, top of top, but Thierry was different level, man. Thierry even has other clubs' fans loving him. A lot of my friends growing up, most of my friends growing up were either Arsenal or Man United, and even Man United fans used to say, listen, you know, begrudgingly, they loved Thierry Henry. You just couldn't help it. He was that good. But hey, let's move on. Alvin said, that was me back when I had an Henry shirt, and the player that made me fall in love with Arsenal was probably Bergkamp. I think Bergkamp changed the direction of Arsenal. I remember Ian Wright saying it. He's like, when he came in, things started to change and turn around because he was that magic that connected everything. So I do understand the debate. But for me, Thierry, number one. Blaze John said, I became Arsenal because of Carnu. He was a legend in his own sort of right. You know, the hat-trick against Chelsea. He was a great player. AD said, Henry over R9 for me, but it's close. It's a difficult one. I think R9's records in you know, finals tips it for me. Henry or Benzema. Listen, I love Benzema, but that's not even a debate. You know, Thierry is a level above Benzi for me. Asanth Miles said, my first Arsenal game I watched was 2007, Bentner, after Henry left. Oof, painful times, man, painful times. Anyway, let's talk about the attack and let's talk about signings, people. Are we going to bring more players in this transfer window? Now, the big link today is Memphis Depay. Certainly not Thierry Henry, that is for sure, but it is a different generation. It is different times. And I've got to be honest, I wouldn't mind Arsenal bringing another striker in, because I was having this discussion yesterday. I still believe Arsenal still have two positions in the pitch where an injury would cause a crisis. I think if Gabriel Jesus gets injured and if Thomas Partey gets injured, if Partey comes out of that midfield, you're playing El Neni and Xhaka. Not good enough. If Gabriel Jesus gets injured, you're playing Eddie and Nketiah. Now, Eddie, listen, I've tried to go easy on him in pre-season, but I still don't think if we had to rely on Eddie and Nketiah for 2, 3, 4 months leading the line, I just don't think that's enough. I don't think you can go to Anfield with Eddie up front. I don't think you can go to the Etihad. I just think those games, he's not going to quite be good enough. He can be an impact player, but I just don't think he's at that level yet. Reports coming out today, Memphis Depay has been told that with the arrival of Lewandowski and Rafinha, it will impact his game time. Barcelona are willing to sell him for as little as 20 million. This is 20 million euros, which is around 15, 16 million pounds. Juventus, Arsenal, Manchester United and Lyon are all interested in him. When I've read the full report, apparently Chelsea are interested in him as well. Of course, they've got rid of Lukaku. They're trying to get rid of Timo Werner. And they're looking for a striker. You know what? Let's get the first poll up. Let's get the first poll up, people. I want to know, would you take Memphis Depay at Arsenal for £15 million? I've got to be honest. For 15 million, I'd be interested. The downside of the deal is he earns £220,000 a week, which I think is too much. Would he take a wage cut? I'm not sure. Would you take him? There's the first poll up. More polls than a strip club, people. Some of you saying, hell no. His wages are astronomical. Yes, says Sal. Ish said, yo, take him just for vibes. Imagine him in a rap video in London. He'll love it. Bumpy said 220k, no way. For 15 million, get him in. The problem is he going to take a wage cut? I'm not sure. Yes, but for 150k. Maybe if you give him a big signing on fee, he'll take a reduced wage. The pay would be backing up Jesus. It would be good enough for the team. The pay is better than Eddie and Nketiah. Listen, I mean, people say attitude problem. Does he have an attitude problem? I think sometimes we misconstrue that you've got a bit of an ego with having an attitude problem. You know, I've never really heard anything about his attitude. Maybe there is. I know he likes, you know, his flashy cars and the flashy clothes, but is there actually an attitude problem there? I don't know. Stay away from this, brother. Gakpo looked average versus Monaco. H7 said, I got Barca mates. Listen, just to add some context on Memphis Depay. Last season, 19 starts, 12 goals. I mean, that's better than 1 in 2 in La Liga. And the year before, when he was at Lyon, 37 games, 20 goals and 12 assists. He's had a good couple of years. So my biggest problem with him is the wage. I actually think his attitude's not bad. If you look at what he does inside a football environment, he's been captain at Lyon. He's been captain of the Dutch team when Van Dijk was injured. If he's got a bad attitude problem, I don't see how he would be the captain of Holland. I've got to be honest. If he was willing to take a wage cut, I would take him. That would be my answer to the question. For 220 grand a week, possibly not. If he was willing to take 150, 160, Lacazette was on 180. If he took 150 for 15 million pounds, I would take him because we need options. We need goals. I would rather bring on Memphis Depay for Jesus than Eddie Nketiah. And for 15 million quid, I think it's a bit of a bargain for someone. I think he ends up at somebody like Chelsea or Juventus, because on the flip side of that, is Memphis Depay going to come to Arsenal and have to fight to get into the first team when he's already in that situation at Barcelona? Wherever he goes, he's going to want to be a first team regular. So we'll have to see with that one. Abby said Depay's wage is 158 grand according to FC Barcelona latest. I mean, fair enough. I looked on Sport Rack, which is usually very accurate when it comes to wages. It does say 220 grand, but I'm sure, listen, if he's on 150, like I said, people, I'd take him. Lay Down the Law said, I don't think he presses like Nketiah will press. There is the issue. And you make a good point there. He's not, I wouldn't say he's an out-and-out striker. He's a bit of a false nine. Would Mikel Arteta be able to handle somebody like Memphis Depay with his personality and his ego? So I don't see it happening, if I'm being honest. Ben Guna said, big up Big C at work, listening to the show in Florida. Big up the community. I don't think we should go for Depay. Big wages, wasn't great for United in the Prem. He definitely struggled at United. The only thing I would say, did he get enough of a chance at United? And at the time, he was a left winger. Seemed to convert to a striker when he went to Lyon. And has done pretty well since, to be honest. But I don't think it will happen. But I've got to be honest. Like I said, if he took a wage cut, I would take Memphis Depay. I think he's a good option, but just not sure him and Arteta would mix. Sidn't said Depay would make Arteta play his raps instead of You'll Never Walk Alone. Could you imagine that? Yeah, we got a game today against Barca. I'll play one of my tunes. But I think he ends up at Juventus or Chelsea. They're both in need of a striker. And I think he will want guarantees of first-team football. David said, big up Big C, what do you think about Renato Sanches going to PSG for only 15 million euros? I think that's a bargain. I know some people have said before he has an injury record that's a little bit worrying. But not Memphis Depay, Renato Sanches for 15 million euros, an absolute bargain. They've just let Wijnaldum go to Roma on loan and replaced him with Renato Sanches. I would have taken him at Arsenal for that price. I would have taken him. Brendan said taking Depay would probably lead to another Aubameyang situation. I wouldn't want that. Big up from Africa. Yeah, the thing is he's going to want to play first-team football. I'm just not sure we can guarantee him that. Irish footy fan Curtis, who would you rather out of the robbery duo when they were in the prime? For me, I get you, Robben, Ribery, there you go. For me, it has got to be Ribery, although Robben was different gravy. I've got to be honest, I preferred Robben to Ribery. I don't know what it was. I think there's something about left-footed players sometimes that just has a certain elegance about it that just looks different, because most players are right-footed. I liked Ribery, but I did prefer Robben, to be honest. He destroyed us a few times as well, but they're both top players, I can't lie. I see. That's a good point, Does the documentary come out at midnight tonight? I'm actually not sure. I haven't checked that. That's a good point. I'm going to look at that. I will double check. When it comes out. Robben was a legend. Robben's left foot was ferocious. Robben, the one-trick pony. Yeah, but you couldn't stop him. Clement said, I would take Depay over Gakpo due to him having Premier League experience. He can play both wings, can hold up play. All players have attitude problems when things go wrong. Yeah, see, this Gakpo, and we'll speak about Gakpo now. I mean, Arsenal being linked with him, it's very hard for me to say how good he is because I haven't seen enough of him. And at £40 million, there does seem to be an element of risk with this Gakpo signing. So Depay at £15 million represents decent business. I just think that overall, adding the whole situation up, I just don't think Mikel Arteta is maybe the right manager to deal with Memphis Depay. And like somebody just said earlier, I think he wants strikers that really, really press. Depay doesn't really do that. Big up Stackademics. Big up Gunnar8. Peely said, how would you rate this window so far? I'll give it 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, one of our best for a long time. Yeah, I would agree. I would go with 7. Just about a 7. Because I think Jesus is an outstanding signing, and I think it's value for money. This is a market that is absolutely terrible for strikers. And I think to get Gabriel Jesus for 45 million, the fact he rejected Chelsea when they needed a striker, I think is incredible business. If we didn't get Jesus, what striker would we be buying, you know? And I think you'd pay more. Zinchenko's a very good signing. With Vieira, I'm not sure. Matt Turner, I'm not sure. I'm not really rating him at the moment. Saliba coming back is like a new signing. I think we need 2 more signings. Then we can start talking about 8s and 9s for me. So, yeah, good, but we need more. 6.5 to a 7 for me. I would say around there. But, yeah, 2 more signings and we can talk. Adama Traore or Memphis Depay. Listen, I said the other day, people, that they're saying that Adama's available for 10 million pounds now. I wouldn't mind having a player like that off the bench. I think I called him a greased-up turkey at one stage. But listen, bringing him off the bench, you need weapons this season. 5 substitutes available in the Prem. I wouldn't mind bringing on a player like Adama Traore for 10 million pounds. Listen, I've defended Pepe a lot, but when's the last time Pepe really came on and influenced the game for Arsenal? So, you know, I'd take a chance on someone like that. Big up Caleb, who said, great to meet you in Orlando. Who do you think starts right back on Friday? Big up to you, bro. I think Ben White starts. I don't think he really trusts Cedric. And he's going to be playing against probably Wilfried Zaha, who's one of the most dangerous wingers in the league. And Tomiyasu hasn't had game time. So even though he's back in training, I don't think he'll play. So Ben White. And I do think Ben White will be targeted by Palace. Big up Chris, who said, yeah, man, big up Curtis and the family. Big up to all my Jamaican crew. Still not happy with our transfer activity. Please hurry up Arsenal with Tielemans and a possible wide player as well. Definitely need to get a midfielder in desperately. Snake Eyes, Big C, I feel though we've had a good window. We need to be careful. If Jesus and Partey go out, we are back to square one. We need more signings. 100%. 100%. It's a crisis if one of them get injured. It's a very poor midfield if he's not in it. Let's end that first poll, people. 54% of you saying you would take Memphis Depay, and 46 saying you wouldn't take him for £15 million. So quite a tight knit debate there. Some people saying all or nothing's out tonight. At 8 p.m. Is this right, people? I need to check this. Let me check this. I wondered if it was out at midnight. But when's it actually out? All or nothing. Let me see if I can find it. All or nothing release. I would imagine it could be midnight. When is all or nothing out? 4th of August. This doesn't say the time, though. I would imagine it's midnight, people, surely. Maybe it's midnight tonight. It just says the 4th there. Everything you need to know, all or nothing, drops on the 4th, Thursday the 4th. Doesn't say the time. But yeah, I'll be checking at midnight anyway. We might go live at midnight, people. Why not? I will check. Yeah, man. Oh, mate, it's hot in here. Hey, Sidon, you relax yourself with nothing and nothing. You know what? While Sidon's in here, let's talk Leicester. Let's talk Leicester. Right, you're losing players left, right, and centre. Who are we taking off you? Let's go for Sidon. Midnight US, 8 a.m. UK, people saying. Oh, fair enough, people. Let's talk Leicester. Let's talk about Youri Tielemans. We're going to get him off you eventually. It's just a matter of time. Madison's on his way to Newcastle as well. He wants the dub. Leicester are expecting Arsenal to move for Youri Tielemans, says Jacob Steinberg, who writes for The Guardian. Now, This story goes on to say that Arsenal are basically waiting to get rid of Lucas Torreira. Now, Lucas Torreira's agent has flown to Turkey to meet with Galatasaray to try and tie up that deal. We need to clear the wages, you know, and he earns around 75 grand a week. I think it could be a bad season for Liverpool this year. For Leicester this year. Apparently, Rodgers has been told there's no significant money to spend unless he sells players. Fofana being linked with Chelsea, Maddison being linked with Newcastle, Tielemans being linked with Arsenal. It just seems to be a waiting game. I've said many times, I think Tielemans ends up at Arsenal before this window closes. I think they're just trying to clear the wage bill. I think the reason nobody else has gone for him is because the agent is saying he's going to sign for Arsenal. As I've always said, the danger is Manchester United. Chelsea are now in talks to get Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Apparently he wants to go to Barcelona ahead of going to... He wants to go to Chelsea ahead of going to Manchester United. If United need a midfielder, maybe they'll go in for him. Apparently they rate him quite highly as well. So that's always the danger. But we need to get this deal done. I think we are going to get a couple of players out the door pretty quickly. Here he is, Sidon again. He said, Curtis, we're the only team in the top 5 leagues not to sign a single player. Not one player through the door, you know. We got some players if you want to sign players. You know, you can have Bellerin, you can have Ainsley, you know, you can have Pablo Mari, you can get a few, you know. I think it could be a tough season for Leicester. I think they're at a point now, Leicester, where they need major investment, and it doesn't seem to be coming. South London's finest, it's a fire sale, also shows how overrated Ndidi is. No clubs want him. I've said for many years with Ndidi, the problem with him, he's not good enough on the ball. It's all right being a ball winner, which he is. He's strong, he's physical, he can get on the ball. He's not great on the ball. All the top teams are trying to play possession-based football. I don't think Ndidi is great on the ball. And I think that's the reason none of the big clubs have really gone in for him. Yeah, Premier League prediction video tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a couple of people on tomorrow. And we'll do a Premier League prediction. May even stream twice tomorrow. Obviously, with All or Nothing coming out, Premier League preview, Fantasy League, we're going to start on here as well. So get your Premier League fantasy teams ready. I'll put the code and everything in tomorrow. And so, yeah, lots going off. May even do the member stream tomorrow. Or maybe, do you know what? I'll probably do the member stream on Friday during the day before the watch along in the evening, people. So anyone who wants to come on the member stream, we're going to do that on Friday before the kickoff against Palace on Friday night, and we'll be back with the watch alongs on Friday as well. Gunnar Roller, thank you for the super chat. Said Torreira is stalling and refusing to go to Turkey. Send him to the reserves. Great meeting you in Orlando. Top flight security of the world, Craig. Not just the city, the world. Listen, Torreira wants to be in Italy or Spain. Is he going to go to the Turkish league? Are they going to pay his wages? I have to admit, I've got quite annoyed with Youri Tielemans not coming to Arsenal. And I've also got quite annoyed with Lucas Torreira just hanging around. Just leave now, bro. You haven't wanted to be in England for a long time. And you've got an option to move. Galatasaray, a big club in Turkey. They'll be in Europe. I'm not sure if they're in the Champions League or Europa League. Just go and play football, you know. But we'll have to see. Listen, it's his career. I'm sure he will leave in this window. But yeah, let's see. Smart Cookie said, big up Curtis, sorry joined late, no worries. Kevin said, big up Curtis, passed my bar exams, your streams were instrumental, big up your damn self. We always celebrate the victories in the community. I always say anybody achieves anything great, throw it in there and we will share it, you know. I told you I'm a different guy on Twitter. They're like, oh, he's going at Arteta, oh, you know. But people don't understand. I just play the game on Twitter, you know. I'm a bit of a wind-up merchant. I can't help it. But big up yourself, Kevin. Well done to you. Dowd said, Maddison is rumoured to prefer Arsenal to Newcastle. Listen, I'm sure he does, but I don't believe that we're really trying to get Maddison. I think it's a year too late. Oz says, big up Kevin. Big up yourself, bro. Maddison prefers a move to Arsenal and Tottenham. Who wants to play for Tottenham? Yeah. I mean, listen, he would probably more likely go to Tottenham than Arsenal because I just don't think we need a player in that attacking midfield role. I think Spurs probably never really replaced Eriksen. Maybe they would go for him, but they've rejected 50 million. So it's going to cost 60 million plus, I think. Kimani said, hey, Big C, I just seen this live. Hey, listen, as I said, people, season starts Friday. We're going to get back on the live stream. I needed a few months just to, tone it down a little bit. It was, the way that season finished, I finished that season feeling like I'd played the season myself. I was actually shattered from the way that we collapsed at the end of the season. So I needed to cut down on the live streams, feeling refreshed, feeling full of energy, and we go again, people. Count Dracula said, Leicester can have Bellerin plus Renato, maybe a little cash for Tielemans. I'm telling you, we got lots of people, man, that we can dash if Leicester need some new signings. I can't lie. We got plenty of them. Maddison is clear of Odegaard. Yeah, listen, he had a good season. He got better stats. I can't lie. Let's move on, people. Yuri Tielemans, we know it's a waiting game. I think he ends up at Arsenal before the window closes. Ish said, no ripping of the shirt this season. I'm going to try my best. The black shirt definitely can't get ripped. The pink one, I don't think I'm buying that one. As I said, my Dipset Killer Cam days, Harlem. I don't think I'll be wearing the pink. The home shirt, it's a little bit too slow. And if I wanted to rip it, I've got to undo the button. And nah, listen, we ain't doing that. People ask me about that in Orlando. Why'd you rip the shirt? I honestly don't have an answer for you, but it just felt necessary at the time. But hey, it is what it is. Big up Arsenal analyst who said, just realised you're live. Big C, mad love. Let's go. Hey, listen, season's back, man. We're going live, people. The streams are back. I'm going to refresh some of the graphics for the live stream. I'm going to get a new thumbnail for the daily shows. We're going to freshen up a little bit. We have to keep, pushing the level up of the channel, Cop the pink one to rip it. Anyway, let's talk about Mikel Arteta, because we are talking All or Nothing documentary, which comes out, it comes out tomorrow. People saying it comes out midnight. Some people saying it comes out at 8 a.m. UK time. But for anyone who doesn't know, and yeah, somebody just said, will you do a Palace preview? We will do one, 100%. 2 or 3 streams over the next couple of days. So, for anybody that hasn't seen the clip, it came out last night, and I was like, wow. I think that Arsenal, like I said earlier, people, I think Arsenal should give Amazon their money back, because I don't think that this documentary is going to put us in a positive light. I think it will be very entertaining for everybody to watch. Some of it because of embarrassment, some of it because we did some good things. But Mikel Arteta had this crazy idea. It was the game where I think we lost 5-1 to Liverpool when Mikel Arteta played. I remember that game. Early kickoff, yellow kit. They battered us. They were 4-0 up at half-time. I think it was Sterling, Suarez, and Daniel Sturridge. And he was saying that, he just saw Liverpool players running everywhere. So he decided that he was going to play You'll Never Walk Alone during the training session to motivate the players, to get them used to playing at Anfield before they went up there and played them. So he turns up the speakers before training and turns up You'll Never Walk Alone. And I'm sitting there going, this doesn't look great. This doesn't fill me with confidence. Now, some people on Twitter were going, he's a genius. I mean, look at that. What are you going to do, man? Even my back garden barbecues have bigger speakers than that, bro. How are you gonna mimic Anfield with them 2 speakers? They're not even wireless. What are Arsenal dealing with, man? Get some proper, Beats speakers, man. What kind of cheap tack is that? And they played You'll Never Walk Alone. And there he is, bellowing out instructions while You'll Never Walk Alone was blasting out of the speakers. This coach is looking like, bro, I don't know what you're doing here, but this ain't going to work. Arsenal proceeded to lose the game 4-0. Let me just take a sip of my water. He played You'll Never Walk Alone. Now, let me just put this into context. For anyone who's ever been there, or anyone who's ever watched it anyway, they play You'll Never Walk Alone before the game, right? They play You'll Never Walk Alone before the game. Not during the game, before the game. So the players don't play with You'll Never Walk Alone blaring out in the background, right? So first of all, you got that bit wrong. I think Arteta had a little bit of PTSD from being a player. You know, we got battered so much while he was a player, it kind of haunts him. But listen, it didn't work. Now, some people say, oh, if we'd have won the game, you'd be calling him a genius. But if is a very big word. It's not a very long word, but it means a lot. If we'd have won. But we didn't win. We didn't even score. We lost 4. So, like somebody says, if we go into Galatasaray in the Europa League, are you going to get somebody to let flares off all around the training ground before the game, you know? Just explain this to me. I don't know. Like I said, Klopp ain't singing 49 undefeated before they play Arsenal. So it is what it is. I don't think that puts him in a great light. He tried a thing and it didn't work. Sound clash settings, man. You know what I mean? I expected Beanie Man and Bounty Killer to run out. But listen, Mickey Rose, the boss. Rose, that's my nickname. I'm telling you. It didn't work. It really didn't work. You know, you try Clash Klopp and, yeah, it definitely didn't work. That was definitely Coman music. But yeah, he played You'll Never Walk Alone. I actually can't wait to watch this documentary. I might have to watch it, you know, from behind the sofa because I've got a feeling we're going to be cringing at some of it. But hey, they got 12 million, 11 million for it, so I'm sure it was worth. Yeah, the clappers before the Leicester game to get them used to it. What's your thoughts, people, on playing You'll Never Walk Alone before the game? David said, what was your experience like in the USA? What did you learn from your visit? What I learned was, the main 2 things that I'll say I learned. Number 1 was, I kind of realized that you've got to be a bit more thankful for being able to watch Arsenal live on a weekly basis, because there are fans in America, and I'm sure other parts of the world as well, but obviously, you know, the fans that I met in America, there were fans there that are desperate to watch Arsenal, that were like, this is the first time I've ever watched Arsenal playing these friendlies in America. So it kind of made me realise you are lucky to be able to go and watch them. On the other hand, I love the togetherness of the fan base. Whether, no matter what your thoughts are on the club, the fan base should be together. And that, for me, is one of the biggest disappointments about the Arsenal fan base in England, is that our fan base is so divided. And I think at times, and this has happened for a long time with Arsenal, we've got fans over here that they almost love a player or the manager more than the club sometimes. That's my biggest disappointment. Like, some people will say on social media, on Twitter, that I'm negative at times about Arsenal. But it's not negativity. It's more positivity, because you want the best for the club. Wanting the best for something or someone is not negative in my eyes. I think sometimes you have to do things that you don't like to get somewhere positive. So, you know, call out the owner, call out the manager, say that we need more players. Sometimes we've got a bit of a get-along thing at Arsenal, that if you say anything that goes against the club's beliefs, that you're negative. And I don't think that's always the case. As an Arsenal fan, nobody can really sit there and say everything that Arsenal have done over the last 15, 20 years is right. You know, was Luis Suarez 40 million and a pound right? No, it wasn't, because Suarez probably wins us the league. You know, I think the club, and there's more, and obviously we could talk about it all day, but listen, it is what it is. But, you know, the Super League, like you're saying, there've been loads of things. But I think sometimes some of our fan base, we love a player or a manager too much, where I think just look at the whole club. But hey, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Sadiq said, you have been critical, which is a good thing, to make progress and keep the people in charge responsible. Yeah, I just want accountability. That's all I want. I want accountability. If things go wrong, tell me why. Explain why. Why did you not sign a striker in January. I want to hear that from the manager. Why did you sell Aubameyang and not replace him? Let Aubameyang go? Cool. Why no replacement? I just want to know. We want clarity as fans. Ish said, video press conference reaction this season. Big C at AFTV puts them out now. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's cheap. I can't lie. But listen, it's something we're going to look at. I'm definitely going to have a discussion. Many of us won't be able to afford to go to games when the gas prices hit. Hey, listen, inflation in the UK, I mean, is ridiculous right now. I'm sure it is in other parts. Lawrence said, Kurt, I've never been to a Prem game. I was so excited to get a chance to see Arsenal v Everton in Baltimore. Yeah, man, I'm glad that, you know, fans from around the world get to watch. And listen, I hope obviously the tours, you know, next summer and beyond, give people an opportunity to go and watch as well, you know. So, Irish footy fan said, I'm from Ireland. I don't get to watch every game as the price to watch the game on TV is a joke. We need answers on the January situation. If we sign 3 more players, top 4 in the bag. Listen, if we sign 3 more good players, top players, I think the main thing you've got to look at this current moment, we've signed 2 players that go into the starting 11 in Zinchenko and Jesus. And obviously, if Tierney's back, there's no guarantee Zinchenko plays unless he gets moved into midfield. Saliba is like a new signing because he, in theory, hasn't played for us. So I just think we need 1 or 2 more players that go into the starting 11. That improve us, you know. But listen, 2 more for me. 3, 4 would be great, but I think 2 more is the most you can see us getting. I still think the squad is not quite where it needs to be. Big C, I would take Adama Traore for his ability to create havoc, says Sports Genius. Like I said, for 10 million, I would have no problem with having him on the bench. Did you meet channel favourite Eddie in America? Nah, I didn't, you know. He walked past me in the tunnel. I don't think I said anything to him. Maybe I should have shouted, Hercules, Hercules! But, nah, listen. I saw him, and listen, he's had a good pre-season, but still not quite convinced he's where we need him to be yet. Over 2,000 people watching. Great support. Really appreciate it, man. The C Unit community always riding out. You know, we haven't been doing the live streams as much, but we will be back to streaming most days. And obviously, watch-alongs are back. So don't forget, we'll be doing a watch-along on Friday for Arsenal Palace. Massive game. We'll be doing a member stream on Friday in the daytime. So all members of a certain level, obviously, come on the live stream, have your say. Let me know where you think we're going to finish. We're going to do a Premier League prediction video tomorrow and also a Crystal Palace preview. And we'll do some content around the All or Nothing documentary. I may do a live stream on Twitch so we can, you know, react to it live. Otherwise, we'll do a reaction video on YouTube. I did see Tierney, you know. I didn't say anything to him. I don't know why. Maybe I should have. He gets injured that much. Maybe I forgot that he plays for us, you know. Did you ask Eddie for his shirt? You better relax yourself. Nah, definitely not. Join the C-Unit community as the drive for 60k subscribers continues. Big up, Clement. Listen, I'm hoping we can get close to 100k by the end of the season. I really am. It's a big push, but let's go for it. Sid said, come on, you Gunners. Let's enjoy the season together. I hope so. I hope so. I really hope we can push on. Let's talk about players leaving, because ultimately we need players out the door to bring players in. A few players are on the move. And obviously last night it was announced that Bernd Leno is now officially a Fulham player. They've unveiled him. He was holding up the shirt. And it looks as if Arsenal got a little bit bumped out of the deal. Now, this was from David Ornstein. He announced this about 2 hours before the deal was made completely official. But what a terrible bit of business by Arsenal. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there was a little bit of Arsenal being nice and kind of letting him leave on the cheap because he's been a good servant to the football club. And listen, I think Leno has been a solid goalkeeper for Arsenal. I've got to be honest. I would say that you're talking about one of the best goalkeepers we've had in the last 10, 12 years. That's how low the level is of goalkeepers. You know, your Fabianskis, your Almunias, your Peter Cechs. your Chesneys. I would say Leno was better than all of them for Arsenal. Obviously, I was a big fan of Emi Martinez, and Ramsdale started off well. Now, Bernd Leno signs for Fulham for £8 million. But the crazy thing about this deal, people, Arsenal got £3 million up front. They get another £1 million. Apparently, he needs to play 25 Premier League games for us to get another $1 million. So that will get us to 4. The likelihood is he will play that unless he gets injured. But this is where this deal gets crazy. They pay us another $2 million, Fulham, if they stay in the Premier League for 1 year. We get another $2 million. If they stay in the Premier League for a second year, we get the final $2 million, which will equate to $8 million. Now, I'm not being funny, people. The last time Fulham got promoted, they got relegated first season, right? So then we're sitting on $4 million. Then they've got to get promoted again, which luckily they got promoted first time. Then they've got to complete another season in the Prem and hope that they stay up. So the reality is, if Fulham get relegated this season, the earliest we can get the next $2 million is 3 seasons' time, which is an absolutely horrendous bit of business. Then you're waiting for them to stay up again to get the final $2 million. We've basically given him away. Like, it's basically a £3 million deal, you know. They could quite easily pull him out the team after 20-odd games, but, I mean, I know they've probably tried to do good by him. Listen, you've been a great servant, blah, blah, blah. But we are genuinely one of the worst teams in the Premier League at selling players. We are, I'm sorry. And I know people will say you've got to get these guys off the wage bill, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But I see other clubs getting players off the wage bill and getting decent amounts of money for them. You know, Leno is a 10, 12 million pound goalkeeper, in my opinion. I know there's a high wage there and a lot of clubs aren't trying to get him. But that is a terrible bit of business. It really is. But listen, one thing I'll say, good luck to Bernd Leno. I think he's been a real positive player at Arsenal. Probably not quite good enough his distribution, which is why Arsenal pushed him to second choice to get Aaron Ramsdale in, but basically £4 million for Bernd Leno. It's absolutely unreal. It's a Burger King deal. It really is. You know, you might as well have just swapped him for a meal deal at Tesco and had your lunch. 35 million for Iwobi. I mean, that was the pinnacle of player sales, but how many of them have we done? Martin says, chill, bro, we got Renato. Well, hopefully not for much longer because he looks to be heading out as well. We'll speak about that shortly. Clement said this is embarrassing for Arsenal to sell Leno for 8 million to Fulham, 3 million up front, 1 million for 25 appearances, then 4 million if Fulham stay up. That is genuinely a horrendous deal. Like you said, Drew, they paid 12 million for Pereira from Manchester United, a player that's been on loan for the last 2 or 3 years. Guendouzi for 9 million, Leno for 4 million, basically. Mavropanos for 3 million. But listen, we're in a situation we've got to clear the wage bill, and this is the problem. Clubs know that we're desperate to sell, so they're going to bump us. They're going to turn up and offer us pennies, unfortunately. So it is what it is, people. Good luck to Bernd Leno. Been a very good servant to Arsenal. Shame to see him go. I would have liked to have seen him stayed and compete with Ramsdale, because I've got to be honest, what I've seen of Matt Turner, I'm not fully convinced yet. I'm not closing the door on him and saying you're finished, but I certainly think Leno is a better goalkeeper than him from what I've seen at the moment. We have to improve at selling players, man. We are shambles when it comes to selling. It is genuinely TK Maxx. We're putting red sales stickers on them and just giving them away. It don't even make sense. Make sure you smash the like button, people. 2,000 of you in the chat. Really appreciate it. And 60 of you on Twitch as well. Really appreciate the support. We paid 5 million for Turner and basically let Leno go for 4 million. But hey, it is what it is. Another player that's heading out of the door, people, Hecky B. And listen, how much we getting for Hecky B? Spanish international, just had a good season on loan at Real Betis, still only mid-20s, plays for Arsenal. Barca wanted him for 40 million about 3 or 4 years ago. How much we getting for him? Absolutely zilch, people. Nada. Not a thing. A big fat zero. Come through the youth system. Played for Spain. Not a penny are we going to get for him. Not even 50 cents we're getting for him. Everything proceed as planned between Arsenal and Bellerin. Feelings on the early termination of the contract. Expiry date, June 2023 are positive. The player only wants to come back to Spain, to Real Betis. His welcome return is a matter of time. And what I've read in the report, people, we're actually going to pay some money for him to terminate his contract. So we're actually paying for him to leave. So again, what can I say? I've just seen Liverpool sell Williams. Is it Nico Williams? Who's like the, young player that played a few games at right back. They've just sold him for £17 million to Nottingham Forest. Hector Bellerin, no matter what I think about Hector Bellerin, and, listen, I don't mind Hector Bellerin leaving. On paper, I would have still liked to have think that Arsenal could get 7 million, 8 million for him. I don't know. But again, 100 grand a week, this is the problem. You're paying average players astronomical wages and you can't sell them. So, Hector Bellerin, he's in talks with Arsenal at the moment. They're going to terminate his contract, which obviously, when a player terminates his contract, the way this would work, Bellerin would go to Arsenal, sit down. His contract, for example, is probably worth about £10 million for the season. Or, maybe not 10 mil. He's on 100 grand a week, 400 grand a month, 10 months left on his deal. So you're looking at 4 million plus bonuses. Arsenal would maybe say, right, we'll give you $1 million, we'll pay you $1 million, and maybe Real Betis, the wage that you would get for the remainder of the season would cover the remaining 3 million. So Arsenal may pay him $1 million or 2 million over the season to leave. It's terrible. It's terrible. At the moment, the way we're dealing with business. So we'll have to see how it works, people. But I think at the moment we've put ourselves in a position where, I think we're just trying to create space for wages. And because clubs know we're desperate, they'll just say no. They'll just, we want Bellerin, but we don't want to pay a transfer fee for him. It doesn't look like teams are banging on our door to take him, Big up True Gunners TV. I hope you're well, bro. He said, big up Curtis. We still need 2 more minimum. 100% for me. If we don't get a midfielder in, I honestly will downgrade what I think this transfer window is at the moment. The reason I'm being quite optimistic about the window is because we've made a couple of good signings and we've still got 3 or 4 weeks to bring other players in. If we didn't get anyone else in, I would downgrade this window. I still think we need a midfielder and another attacking player. Pepe needs to go too, said Slims. Yeah, listen, I wouldn't have a problem with Pepe being moved on and a new winger coming in. I've kind of given up on him now. Is Marina from Chelsea was in charge? She would get like 50 million for Guendouzi, 25 for Leno, 17 for Heki, 12 for Pablo Mari. I mean, even if it wasn't them numbers, Guendouzi should have been at least 20 million plus with a significant sell-on fee as well. You wouldn't be surprised if Guendouzi ended up at like PSG in 2 years for big money, You look at Leno, I definitely think we should have got 10 million plus for him. But it is what it is, people. We're in that situation, I'm afraid. Dread-Eye said it's been a great window, whatever. We need to be more realistic. I don't think it's unrealistic for us to get 2 more in. I would say it's been a good window. I wouldn't say a great window. I think a great window transforms your team completely. I don't think we've completely transformed our team. I do think we've improved. And I think in Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, they make a big difference to this team. Saliba, obviously, coming back from loan is a big improvement. Vieira is kind of the unknown quantity at the moment. We don't really know how good he is. But I kind of like the fact there's an element of surprise with this Fabio Vieira in terms of how good he's going to be. No Arsenal fan is really talking about him or what he can offer us, So I'm hoping he surprises us as well. We're going to round up, people. Get your comments in. Let's read some comments out before we round up. We've been on for nearly an hour. Clement said, as fans, we need to start holding Edu to account when it comes to selling players. It's not good enough to get pennies. I think Arsenal are a little bit... I think it's too obvious that Arsenal want to get rid of these players. It's like going to buy a car when you know someone's desperate, you offer way less than what it's worth. I think we've almost got to act as if we don't want to sell these players in the hope that somebody will offer us decent money for them. So, yeah, Marquinhos will be interesting. I wonder if he'll stay or they'll loan him out. It'll be interesting what happens with Marquinhos. Can we still get Paqueta? I don't think we're going for him, really. I think we like him. I just don't think the role he plays, we're really going to go for him. Anthony said, get me De Jong. I think De Jong ends up at Chelsea or stays at Barcelona. Downside of doing early signings before selling is clubs know you're desperate. Ideally, you want to sell and buy early, as Marty says, and that's the problem. If I'm looking at Arsenal now and I want, I don't know, who are we trying to sell? If I want Ainsley, and I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm going, right, they've signed Zinchenko, Vieira, Marquinhos, Saliba's back, Jesus is in, Zinchenko, their wage bills through the roof. I'm coming in for Ainsley. I'm saying, listen, I'll give you 4 million for Ainsley. Even though you want 10, 15, I'll give you 4 million for him. Because not a lot of clubs want to sign him. And I know you need him off your wage bill. I also know he's got a year left on his deal. And that's what Fulham have done with Bernd Leno. They've offered us peanuts and we had to take it. Be Kind Go Vegan said top 4 is a must. I would say this year, Arsenal, they have to get Champions League football. Now, I always think that getting top 4 is a greater indicator of where you are as a football club than winning the Europa League, because you can get a good draw and beat 1 or 2 good teams and win the Europa League. I think to get top 4 over a 38-game season shows where you're at as a football club. But on the flip side, I would love to see us win a European trophy. So for me, if you offer me Champions League football right here, right now, whether that's top 4 or Europa League, I'm taking it. I don't care how we get it, but get it. Either one of them work for me. I want Champions League football. I'm sick of watching Arsenal in the Europa League. I can't lie. I've had enough. Connor says top 2. Connor, I gotta be honest, I would love to agree with you. I still think we're significant investment away from getting in the top 2. Oh, no, sorry. You was referring to somebody else who said top 2. Oh, there we go. Pack said Arsenal are top 2 this season. Listen, bro, I know I'm all about the positivity, but we also have to be realistic. I don't believe we're top 2. I still look at Liverpool and City and think they're significantly better. They've got way more match winners than we've got. Top 4 on a trophy would be an absolutely brilliant season. It really would. Top 4 on a trophy would be fantastic. That is for sure. I want to see trophies. I want to see Arsenal lifting trophies this year. You know, Europa and top 3, said Slurp. Anna said, I'm happy with the dealings. I'd rather buy early than buy at the end. Giving away Deadwood is fine with me. Sometimes you have to give away Deadwood that you can't sell, but over a long period of time, you've got to recoup money as well. There's going to be a point where the Kroenkes go, hang on a minute. You spent 150 million this year and last year, and you've brought in 15, 20 million. There's going to be a point where they tighten it and say, listen, you ain't getting no more money this year. Top 4 in Europa League. Personally, I would love to see Arsenal win the Europa League this year. I do want to go to some games this year and vlog a couple. Obviously, we'll do watch-alongs, but maybe some of the early round games will go to them. I really want to see Arsenal in Europe this year. I think top 4 and winning a trophy would be the ideal. If we could get top 4 and win Europa League, that would be like the dream scenario for Arsenal this season. And I think they're capable of doing it. It's whether, as I said, my 2 issues, Jesus and Thomas Partey, any significant injury, and I think we've got a problem. You've got to get another centre midfielder in and another attacking player, in my opinion. David said, Curtis, are you concerned about Patino going to Blackpool on loan? I'm not sure we'll see the kids coming through. Listen, big up for that, David. You reminded me of that one. Charlie Patino's going to Blackpool on loan for the season. Obviously, no option to buy. He's a good young talent. We saw him against Nottingham Forest last year, and he got bullied a little bit. I think this is a good move for him. I think the Championship is a fantastic league to go and learn your trade as a young player. It's physical, it's demanding, it's quick, and you will become acclimatized to men's football in the Championship. So personally, I think that's a good loan move for him. You know, Smith Rowe went to Huddersfield. They were in a relegation scrap that year and he did well. So, yeah, I think Laser saying top two. All this top two, listen, I love the positivity. But I would say, you know, relax. You know, I don't think we're quite top two level. You know, Liverpool got so many match winners and players of that level. I don't think we're at that level yet. They've also got an absolute world-class manager. What is Arsenal fans' obsession with the Champions League? Always being cannon fodder for the big team. Yeah, but we have to change. That's what we were before. We haven't been in the Champions League for, 5 years, 6 years? We have to turn around the football club completely. So we have to get back in the Champions League. Then we have to eventually become a team that gets to the last stages. So you can't improve in that competition if you're not in it, you know? And we all know that the Europa League is a secondary competition. Would you take Ismaila Sarr as cover for Saka? I wasn't that impressed with him last year. He is a live wire, but I think there's better options than him. That's all I would say in the wide position. Nima, thank you for the super chat. Do you think it's a shame Wenger never got to have big Kroenke money since Kroenke got full ownership? I think he was in with the Kroenkes, and I think that's the problem. Arsene Wenger was so worried about spending money and running the whole club that I think that was the problem. I think he could have got more money to spend. The Kroenkes were a bit tight at times, but they also did spend money, you know. I think there was too much involvement. I think sometimes you just got to manage and let them worry about the money. But I appreciate your question and super chat. Big up Wolves FL, who said, big up Curtis in the chat. Good vibes always, you know. Big up the community. Listen, it's great to be back with everyone. And as I said, we're going to have lots of content coming up. Premier League prediction video tomorrow. Member stream on Friday. Arsenal v Palace watch along on Friday. And also we'll have some all or nothing reaction or maybe a watch along. Depending on what we're going to do. And we'll also have the Fantasy Premier League. We'll launch that tomorrow. So get your teams ready and picked. And I'll throw the code in the chat tomorrow. Somebody just said, where was that comment? Somebody said Wenger built and destroyed us. I certainly think he definitely mashed up some of the work that he did before leaving the club. I would say, I mean, he didn't make us either. Graham made us Premier League champions, so I can't give Wenger full credit. He certainly took us to the next level. The football was unbelievable. The stadium move, the signings, but he definitely tarnished his legacy towards the end of his time at the club, that is for sure. No Arsenal therapy. Listen, a Palace defeat would equate to Arsenal therapy Saturday afternoon. I don't want to be doing that. Talk is cheap is out. Hey, big up, man. I didn't even know. It probably came out when I was live on air. So if you want to see more content, people, head over to AFTV. Talk is Cheap show is out now. And, yeah, I'm out of here. Great first show back. Well, we've done a couple of live streams, but great first show before the Prem starts. I'll be back tomorrow and really appreciate all your time, effort and comments. Make sure you like the video on the way out. Can we hit 1,000 likes? Subscribe if you haven't already. Tomorrow, Premier League prediction, all or nothing watch along, member stream on Friday, and then Crystal Palace v Arsenal watch along Friday night. Thank you for tuning in. Great to be with you all. I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, no, don't be playing You'll Never Walk Alone, Mikel Arteta. It definitely didn't work. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bless.